Our first guest this week is joining us direct from Salt Lake City, Utah. Richard Serber is the CEO of Nexia Holdings Incorporated. Their stock symbol's NXHD. Richard, welcome back to the program.
It's great to be back, Don.
Well, Richard, Nexia Holdings describes itself as a diversified holdings company with operations in entertainment, health and beauty, real estate. Can you give us a general overview of the company, please?
Yeah, the entertainment division is what's most exciting right now. So WG Productions is our production company. So we do production services for our own account and for third parties. Redline Entertainment is our distribution division, where we have distribution for foreign and domestic opportunities for independent films. The next is the health and beauty. So we have Aveda salons that generate, well, last year they generated over $3.3 million in gross revenues, and they are not, small holes in the walls as far as salon goes. They're 4,000 square foot, major operations. I think we employed as many as 90 people last year. We have some small operations with regard to a little bit of commercial and residential real estate, and really the most exciting thing that I think we're going to spend most of the show speaking about, hopefully, is the event management. So the two majority-owned subsidiaries we have there are Slide the City and the Lantern Fest.
I definitely want to talk about that because in addition to the several business spaces the company's successful in, event management is something you've become particularly adept at recently. Tell us about that side of the company.
Well, I just think that the opportunity is tremendous, and we have a couple of unique events that we've created. So Slide the City is the one that's been getting the most fanfare lately. We did the first test run here in Salt Lake City to about 3,000 people, and we did it right next to the LDS Mormon Temple on a nice slope. So people got a bunch of good speed there, and we had aerial cameras that videoed the entire thing. And what it is a 1,000-foot slip and slide. So it's just really fun. It's something that everybody can do. You don't have to train for it. And we had food trucks and entertainment standing by, and everybody had a great time. And we got a great YouTube video out of it that's gone viral at this point.
Well, we've seen video of your Slide the City events. These seem to really draw the crowds and get people excited.
Yeah, it's super high energy. I think we're kind of pulling on, maybe some heartstrings, or maybe people reminiscent, about when they were a kid and it's a hot, hot summer, and mom or dad gets the slip and slide out. So I think, parents that had that experience can, have it on a grand scale, with their kids, and then kind of relive it.
Richard, do you have any market statistics which relate to the size of the event industry and revenue potential?
Well, most of these companies are private, but I just put a press release out, did a little bit of research on that, and USA Triathlon and Red Frog put some information out there. So on the triathlon side, I think they said that there were as many as 2 million participants in 2011, and that number went up over 60%, I think, over the course of a couple of years. The other interesting thing that was put out is a version of the mud runs, or I think they call them warrior runs, by Red Frog, and they went from 17,000 participants to over 700,000 participants over the course of, I think, a year or two. So some really interesting steep growth curves, just in those particular eventing areas.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but you are an athlete. You've competed in more than 100 events over the last several years, so you've seen the growth of event management firsthand.
I have. I've been doing it for about 7 years, mainly for health, and to keep my head clear, and so I have the energy to run this company. And I've seen it explode. The thing that's two of the more intense, I guess, purist events are Escape from Alcatraz that attracts over 2,000 participants, and I think the entry price is over $250 a pop. So 2,000 times 250, I think that's $5 million in gross revenues just on that one event. You know, if you look at what the Ironman organization has done, they have events internationally all over the place every other week. They sell out. There's in excess of 2,500 participants usually, you know, in each one of those events, and people are fanatical about those purist events. But of course, you know, you have to put a lot of training in. So there's a lot of barriers to entry, and not everybody's interested in, you know, going through the vigors of preparing for Ironmans or Olympic distant triathlons, or not everybody's crazy like me and, you know, wanting to swim across the San Francisco Bay from the island of Alcatraz. So.
You have a promotion called Lantern Fest. It's an event coming soon in Colorado. Tell us about that.
Well, I think, you know, the concept behind the Lantern Fest is to, it can be almost what you want it to be, I think. So, you know, I think a lot of the participants have hopes, dreams. Maybe they, you know, maybe they've had some transgressions. So, you know, if you're hoping and wishing for something, I think you kind of hope and wish for that to come true with this, with your lantern that you set off into the air. If it's a transgression, you know, it's a way to maybe burn it away, start anew, and it's a very emotional experience for a lot of the participants. I mean, there's thousands of these lanterns that are setting off into the sky. It's spectacular. It's touching. It's emotional. It's fun. It's a lot of things to a lot of different people.
Nexia Holdings Incorporated, NXHD. Richard, why is this a good time right now for people to take a closer look at your company?
There are tons of reasons why. I think the single most exciting thing right now is the Slide the City event. What I want viewers to think about is this thing being franchised on an international basis. So working on franchises, we're on the verge of closing out hundreds of cities here in the US and in Canada. So think about 3,000 to 4,000 participants, $45 a pop or $35 a pop, depending on the price they pay, throughout all of North America. Us franchising this opportunity ahead of anybody else, so we're market leaders with regard to this event. And then us doing in-house events of, you know, 50 to 100 events over the next year or two. Think about what's happening with Ironman if there's any triathletes watching this and the success of that. Or think about the success of, you know, these Spartan runs or mud runs, or, you know, the explosion of even, you know, your local 5K events that are happening, you know, in your local city or neighborhood. And then couple that with that Nexia last year already generated $4.5 million in revenues, so we have the foundation in place. And then look at the stock price on this thing. It's only a penny a share. And then, you know, maybe look at some of the other press releases that I've put out. We've settled out over $1.2 million in debt, so we're cleaning up the balance sheet. Couple that with we've produced over 16 independent films, and we've built strong relationships out of LA and with the Utah Film Commission. And then add in that we have distribution set up as well for those films, both in the domestic markets and foreign markets. But like I said, the thing that's really, really exciting to me right now, Don, is the Slide the City and the opportunity that presents. No one really knows that Nexia is the majority holder of Slide the City or the Lantern Fest at this point. So this is an opportunity for people to get in before anybody else really realizes it. And, you know, so the people here on MoneyTV, I think, have an opportunity that that I haven't seen. And I've been, you know, I'm a securities attorney, and I've put together lots of reverse mergers where we're bringing private companies public at this level. And I can honestly say that I have not seen anything of this caliber out there in the 18 years that I've been doing this. We have more cash in the bank than our entire market cap right now. And we got a really talented team that has done a lot of other events in this space, and it's just a phenomenal opportunity at this level.
Again, Nexia Holdings Incorporated, NXHD is their stock symbol. Of course, Richard, we have initiated coverage of the company. We'll be following you very closely going into 2015. Looking forward to plenty of updates from you during that period of time. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me again, Don.